This episode of Soldier Knows Best is brought to you by Netflix. Hey, what's up guys, Soldier Knows Best here. This is my review of the Ouya. This is a $99 gaming console. Yes, this little thing is a gaming console that started off as a Kickstarter project, but it's going to be in retail stores like Best Buy and other places soon. So anyway, I'm about to review this thing, talk about the hardware, the controller, the software, and whether this thing is even worth your 99 bucks. So let's go and start the review. All right, so first taking a look at the hardware, let's just take a look at the console itself first. Now, it's very small. I mean, it really does fit in the palm of your hand. It has a QB/curvy look to it and feel to it. I do like the overall look to it, and plus it's not going to take that much space on your entertainment stand. On the back, you'll find all your inputs and ports. You'll find an Ethernet port and also a micro USB and just a regular USB 2.0 port. And also you'll find an HDMI port because this system does support 1080p gaming. And then at the top, you'll find one single button, and that's going to be your power button. Now, as far as the internal inside this thing, you'll find an NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor. You'll also find 1 GB of RAM. It does have built-in Wi-Fi and also Bluetooth, and it will also have 8 GB of internal storage. Also, the system is very easy to get into. You just have a few torque screws you need to unscrew, and then basically you'll be able to get inside the internals. And they actually encourage this because the system is not only just open source as far as the software, but they want you to get inside the hardware and tinker around with it as you please. And now on to another critical part of any gaming console. This is going to be the controller. Now the Ouya controller does feel a little cheap, but overall I do like the feel of this controller. It does feel nice and comfortable in your hands. It has a nice cool touch to it. And also it resembles the Xbox 360 controller the most out of any controllers out there, which is not a bad thing. It has dual analog sticks which function very well. The D-pad does stick a little bit in certain cases, but that's not too big of a problem. And then also the buttons are pretty good, even though some people have been reporting that the buttons have been sticking from time to time. Now, at the top, you'll find 4 different buttons. You'll find 2 bumper buttons, and also you'll find 2 trigger buttons. That's another gripe I kind of have with this controller, is that the trigger buttons are at the top instead of being on the back, and kind of like you're actually firing a real gun or a real weapon. But I did get over that because it's really not that many first-person shooters on this Ouya console. The back on the front, you'll find 4 indicator lights is going to be used when you are syncing this controller up to your system, and also let you know which player you are. But then this whole area itself is actually a trackpad, which is a very nice touch. And so even though there are not a lot of games that are taking advantage of this trackpad, it will be very useful when you are using the built-in browser on this console. And the last thing is that this controller does work with your Ouya console via Bluetooth. So overall, guys, with the hardware of this system, I'm pretty satisfied with it. There can be some improvements made with the controller for sure, but I think the console is pretty spot on. And I think both of them combined for a $99 gaming console. As far as the quality, the design, the look, I think they did a pretty good job at their first crack at it. And now let's talk about the Ouya software. Now, this system is based off of Android, but of course they have their own skin on top of it. Now, your first section that you'll see will be your Play section, which is going to have all the different games and applications that you have downloaded onto the system. But when you're looking for games, you're trying to discover new games, you want to go to the Discover section, which has definitely gotten an overhaul when it comes to the look and feel of it, because it has different categories now. It has your feature category, which is going to show you the most popular applications. Then a VIP room, which is going to be games that are only on the Ouya, which is nice. Then a few of the other categories would be trending now, which is going to be showing you all the games that are very popular right now, being talked about a lot. And then you have your different genres, and then also Sandbox, which is going to be great, where you'll find all your different emulators from Nintendo emulators, NES or Super Nintendo, and all those different ones you can download onto the system and actually play, as long as you put your ROMs on here. And at the time of filming this video, there are 151 games that are available right now. Now, again, me personally, I think that most of the games aren't really my cup of tea. They don't really appeal to me. But when I first started playing, there was about 10 or 11 different games that I actually had fun playing. And one of those games is Dub Wars, which is something like if you were combining Geometry Wars and dubstep music together, you'll probably get this game as the baby. But it's a pretty fun game. You're actually just moving your ship around. You actually don't fire the weapons. You just choose the direction that your weapons fire in. But your weapons are fired according to the music. So just watch this clip to get a sense of what I'm talking about. And so that was Dub Wars. That's probably the game I started playing the most when I first started using Ouya. And this next game is called Vector, which puts you in the place of this free runner, which is getting chased by this other free runner, which is basically the system. If he catches you, you die. But you're jumping across buildings, jumping over barriers, and sliding under things. You have different moves that you can buy as you progress through the game that you'll need to kind of master the game, which is pretty tough to master, but it's a fun game. Once you start playing and get a hang of it, it's one of those another type of addictive games that you can find on this Ouya. And then another game that I really like to play is called Cider Arcade, which is basically just an arcade shoot 'em up game where you're navigating your ship and just blowing everything up that is in your way. And so again, there are a ton of other different games out there that may be more appealing to you, but these are the games that I kind of like to play on them. And there are also a few applications that you can install in this Ouya. One is going to be twitch.tv, which will allow you to watch other video game streams, and also you can install TuneIn Radio, which will allow you to, of course, to listen to music. And then also too, you can side load other Android games onto this system. So again, with a little bit of work, you can get other Android gaming applications that may be in the Google Play Store and other stores onto your Ouya, which is definitely nice. But I would like to hopefully see them make it a lot easier in the future. Then also one good thing about the Ouya is that all the games are free to try. So you can try out every single game and see if it's something that you want to spend your money on, and you can decide whether you want to buy it or not. All right, so that's enough about the games and the software. And then we're going to wrap up this review of the Ouya. Now for $99, I think this is a pretty solid system when it comes to the hardware and the software. Now again, there are definitely some tweaks that can be made to the controller to make it better, but I think for what it is, the console itself and the controller, I think they're pretty good. That I think a lot of people won't have a lot of major complaints with it. But ultimately it comes down to whether or not you're into the type of games that this system is going to be providing. It's going to be providing more indie and arcadey type of games. So if you're looking for deep storylines and the best visuals, you're not going to want to get this system. But if you are into those type of games that again just going to be very fun games to pick up and play every once in a while, it's going to be a nice system to have. But ultimately I think the success of this system is going to come down to whether or not we get a steady stream of games and applications being developed for it. You know, as long as we start to see popular apps like Hulu Plus and Netflix and other stuff like that that's on Android cell phones and tablets being made for it, I think people are going to want to buy this Ouya, especially at that $99 price point. So again, I like this system. Some things can definitely be improved, but for a Gen 1 product, I think it's a pretty solid product. I'm going to keep it, and a lot of people out there, I think you may want to take a look at it as well. Well, that about ends my review of the Ouya console, but before I do officially end this video, I'm just going to take one last look at our sponsor. And today's sponsor is Netflix. Now, if you don't know, Netflix is the place to go for streaming movies and TV shows, no matter where you are, to your cell phone, to your TV, to your Xbox, your PlayStation, your Nintendo Wii. Almost every device right now has a compatible Netflix application where you can watch this content on the go. So they have thousands of titles to choose from, so you'll never be bored. If you want to get a free trial membership right now, you can go to netflix.com/soldier. Again, that's netflix.com/soldier to get your free trial membership. All right, guys, you know the drill. All the links to my social networks are down below, my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will catch you later. Peace.